When you ask people to evaluate their own personal abilities or self-evaluate, an interesting pattern emerges. Those who perform poorly on a given task tend to believe they actually performed at a high level. Research has identified this same pattern in many areas of life, including workplace performance, academic achievement, and maybe not surprisingly, driving ability. The problem is, a lot of times, we can't accurately identify our own weaknesses. Why? The short answer is that we don't always view ourselves objectively. Instead, we're unconsciously motivated to maintain a positive self-view. Our unconscious drives us to view ourselves positively rather than objectively, even if that means holding a distorted perception of reality. What it really boils down to is this. Human beings are deeply conditioned to feel good about themselves and avoid painful yet accurate realizations. Despite this deep conditioning, current research in psychology and neuroscience suggests that we can overcome this disposition through mindfulness. For example, when we compare a mindful brain to a non-mindful brain, the mindful brain is more receptive to negative information about the self. Mindfulness, or an open awareness of present moment experiences, may allow people to see things from a third-person perspective. In theory, this would allow people to view themselves more accurately. My research is interested in answering the following question. If people are induced into a mindful state, do they provide more accurate self-evaluations? In my study, 400 people are split into two groups, a mindful group and a non-mindful or control group. All participants are asked to complete a logical reasoning test. Then, the mindful group does a 15-minute guided meditation, while the non-mindful group does a control task. Afterwards, all participants answer questions regarding perceptions of their own performance. Previous research suggests that mindfulness does indeed reduce the motivation to view ourselves objectively. However, no one has yet examined whether this results in more accurate self-evaluations. Although we're still collecting data, preliminary analyses indicate that that those induced into a mindful state actually hold more accurate self-views. When we talk about mindfulness, we're talking about a fundamental shift in consciousness. We're talking about a change in how we relate not only to our world, but ourselves. If mindfulness really does give us a clearer picture of who we are, it can enable us first to deeply understand our weaknesses, and second, take action toward improvement.